Ho ho ho, what is up guys, it's your boy Santa Kakis, and today we're going to be showcasing everything you need to know about the new Dawning 2025 event, which has just gone live in Destiny 2. And guys, this is a big one, because this is actually the first Dawning event that's been introduced since the addition of the portal, and so things are quite different this time around. This is not your average Dawning, and in fact, I think the way you're going to farm the Dawning weapons is actually different compared to any other year. And so, let's get started. Alright, now the first thing we need to talk about is that the Dawning now has its own event homepage right here on the portal, just like other recent Destiny 2 events, and it's laid out in a similar fashion, where you have daily and weekly challenges which provide big jumps in progress in your event rank path, but your event path is actually juicier than ever, guys. So normally we have a bunch of holofoil weapons, but this time around, and this is the first time it's happened, as you can see right here, the holofoil weapons are actually tier 5, at least for me. If you're super low power, maybe it won't be, but they're tier 5, and importantly, they have random rolls. So no more do you have some crappy perk combo selected by Bungie that you only get one row of perks. No, you're just straight up going to get an actual tier 5 holofoil, and it should have 3 perks per column, and that is actually huge, guys. So keep that in mind. Additionally, in the event shop, you can straight up buy tier 5s. Usually these are a tier behind, so again, things are actually looking pretty juicy within that event page. But to really get started in the Dawning, you're going to head down to the tower and talk to Eva Levante. She's going to get you started on your Dawning 2025 quest. So it's going to actually reward you with the Eva's Holiday Oven. Now, you can access this either in your quest tab, or you do actually have a tab for it in the event page as well, as you can see right here. This is what you're going to be using to bake cookies, and it's going to give you enough ingredients and essence of Dawning to bake the Galardoodle. So, if you're unfamiliar with how the Dawning works in terms of the cookie baking, every single time you bake a cookie, you're going to have one green ingredient, one blue ingredient, and a certain amount of essence of Dawning. So the green ingredients are going to drop from certain enemy types. You can see all the different variations right here, like Ether Cane comes from Fallen, Vex Milk comes from Vex, so on. Now the blue ingredients you're going to have randomly drop for doing certain actions. Killing enemies with melee weapons is going to drop, I think, Personal Touch or Sharp Focus or whatever it is, but you can see again it has its own section where it displays all of the different ingredients and how to get them to drop. And then you have all these different cookies that will require different combinations of these ingredients. Now, that aside, after you make that first cookie, a Galardoodle, you're going to deliver that to Zavala, and he is going to give you a gift in return when you give this cookie to him. Now, this is kind of the main thing you're going for in terms of rewards for baking cookies. Now, you're then going to go back to Eva Levante, you get a bunch of Dawning Spirit. So, you're going to use this currency to buy upgrades for the Dawning from Eva Levante, and it forces you to buy the very first upgrade as part of the quest, where you will receive Boons of Friendship. So, Boons of Friendship will actually go to your Consumables tab, and you can pop it during activities, any sort of like match-made activity, and it will reward extra Dawning loot to all of your fire team. So we'll talk more about that later and how to absolutely get the most out of it, but after you buy that first upgrade, your quest is going to update, and now you need to complete a Snowball fight activity. So this is actually the new activity that's been added with the Dawning as part of the Crucible. You can find it in Crucible Ops or through the event page, and yeah, it's literally just on Crucible maps, but everyone's throwing snowballs. And what is it like? Well, as you can see right here, it actually takes a few snowball hits in order to kill an opposing guardian. You actually have a super that will build up where you can activate it, and it's like a big AoE snowball. And Well, if you like team shotting in normal Crucible, it's even crazier in this. It's kind of like Scorched, but with snowballs. Wasn't my cup of tea, but hey, it's like a fun, random new activity for some people to do who may enjoy it. So why the heck not? Anyways, when you do complete this activity, first of all, oh my goodness, you are swarmed with loot. Like, this is actually crazy. And you're going to see that one of my rewards right here is the Gizmo Weft. So this, I got super lucky. This is the ultra rare weapon that actually is part of the Call to Arms event that's upcoming. Just like how in previous events for the last season before Renegades, you could randomly get the, I think it was the Submersion, the heavy crossbow from event activities. Like anytime you were doing, for example, Solstice or Call to Arms, or even like the Arms Week events, you would just randomly have a very small chance to get that heavy crossbow. The Gizmo Weft is the new version of that. This is like the special kind of, heavy crossbow, the special extra event weapon you can get in new events going forward. So keep that in mind. It is a micro missile frame special grenade launcher. All right, so after that, guys, the next step is to claim the very first rank in your event track. So go ahead and do that. And then you're going to go back to the tower and talk to Eva Levante. She is going to update your quest and then give you some daily boons of friendship. Now, the next thing you need to do is bake one of the 2 brand new cookie recipes. So you can see, like, I'm hovering over all of the existing cookie recipes. Even if you haven't crafted these, even if you're a brand new player, it should still tell you what you need to do in order to create these cookies. Now, specifically, the one you need to make is Dark Matter Drizzlers. So you will need Ether Cane, Dark Frosting, and Essence of Dawning. Go and kill some Fallen with some darkness abilities, and you'll get all of that. Once you actually are able to make this cookie, then you're going to deliver it to this guy on Caldera. Yeah, it's kind of not that obvious, but specifically you load into the Caldera and talk to this guy right here, and you will update the quest app. Then you need to bake the other new cookie, the Peanut Butter Paw Prints. Now, these are going to be made with Dark Ether Cane, which is Scorn, balanced flavors, so like Scout Rifle or Pulse Rifle, or I think Bow kills or Sniper Rifle kills too, and some Essence of Dawning. Now, at this point, we were out of Essence of Dawning. Essence of Dawning drops at the end of activity completions. So we actually just ran a juicy Fireteam Ops activity liminality. I'll talk more about that in a sec to get our Dawning Essence. And then, guys, after that, we were able to bake this final cookie, and then you need to deliver it to Archie, who is located basically opposite of Ada 1 in the tower right here, guys. Now, when you do deliver that cookie, you have to go back to Eva Levante one last time. You're going to get a bunch of Dawning Spirit as well as Essence of Dawning, and that is actually the main quest done. Now, some extremely important tips before we really get started here. First and foremost, your goal should be to masterwork your Eva's Holiday Oven. Now, how do you do that? Well, you have to discover all of the different cookie recipes. So for me, obviously, I had them all discovered last year, and so this year, it's just the 2 new ones. And why do you want to do that? Well, as you can see right here, when I do masterwork my oven, the cost of Essence of Dawning to bake a cookie goes from 15 down to 10. So it is significantly cheaper to bake cookies after you masterwork it. So again, unlock every cookie recipe first, bake one kind of every cookie first, get that masterwork done before you then start like baking a ton of one cookie and farming cookies. You know what I'm saying? Now, on top of that, guys, the next big tip is to check your exotic ships, and if you have the Starfarer 7M, equip it immediately. As you can see, this is from a long time ago, years ago at this point, but it has a special ship mod, Spirit of the Season, where every time you get an ingredient, it will give you Dawning Spirit as well. So you're going to be able to buy those Eva Levante upgrades much, much earlier. So 100%, if you do have this, put it on, keep it on for the entire Dawning event. Now, continuing from there, guys, the next tip is involving what upgrades to buy from Eva Levante, because if you're done the quest, she's going to give you a bunch of Dawning Spirit. You can buy some upgrades right away. Guys, buy the upgrades that give you more resources, right? In the past, it was all about buying the upgrades that unlocked additional perk slots for your weapons. But since we have tier 5s now, those aren't even here. They're not even an option. So I went with Bountiful Harvest, earn ingredients by completing orders and donning daily challenges. So your orders, I mean, I play a lot of the game. You're just churning through orders again and again and again, no matter what you're doing. And so that seemed like a no-brainer. And then right beside that, I also went with Essential Harvest. So earn a small amount of donning essence by completing orders and donning daily challenges. Now, let's now talk about donning essence, guys. Donning essence is going to be the bottleneck of this entire event when it comes to baking cookies. Because, again, you need 15, and then after you masterwork 10 every single time you bake a cookie, and that means you have to complete a lot of activities to get donning essence. So, you can potentially just cheese donning essence by loading up the easiest activities you can possibly find in the game. We did try the checkpoint cheese with the first mission of the Lightfall campaign. It did actually give us donning essence the first time and then stopped giving us donning essence promptly after that. Now you could go farm Dul Imkaru, I think it is, the final boss of the Shattered Throne dungeon on the Dreaming City. Like, that is an unbelievably quick boss farm, like literally like 30 seconds per run type thing. Just good luck getting a checkpoint, or you might have to do the dungeon all the way up to that point. Or again, pick literally the easiest portal activity, the easiest whatever kind of activity you can find in the game that you can complete the fastest to run through Donning Essence. But that was actually the old strat for Donning Essence. I mean, it's still the strat, but I don't think it's what you want to do this year. And the reason is because, as you can see right here, guys, there is also straight up Donning engrams in the portal. And so that means in previous years, guys, the only way to get Donning weapons was to bake cookies and then turn them all in and hope you got gifts in return that could give you some weapons. But, I mean, how many of you Destiny vets out there turned in 50 Galar Doodles on Zavala and you got like 2 gifts? You know, the rates weren't the best. But now, I mean, as you can see, I mentioned liminality. You get 3 Donning engrams for a liminality completion. 3. You get 2 from a Glassway completion. And guys, as you can see right here, they don't go away. Like, after our liminality run, we could actually do it again for another 3 Donning engrams. And so, why would you spend a bunch of time in a fast activity farming Donning essence like over and over again, and then you're probably going to have to go out and farm ingredients after that just for cookies, when you could just do these absolutely juiced portal activities, whatever portal activity you can do the fastest that offers the most Donning engrams, you just farm that. You get guaranteed weapons, like roughly as often as you were getting gifts in return for turning in cookies, but then you're also going to get Donning essence for completing the activity, and you're also going to be farming ingredients when you're doing these activities. So essentially, because of these portal changes, the cookie baking stuff is now just an extra layer of reward on top of the new main farm, which is farming the crap out of portal activities for these Donning engrams. Like, seriously, they're dropping like crazy. Not to mention that you're also farming these portal activities with the boons of friendship. So here's how they work. As you can see right here, I open up my inventory and activate the boon when we're in our Glassway run. It turns out all 3 of us did this. So we had 3 boons active at once. And so as you can see right here, when we complete our Glassway activity, we actually just straight up get gifts in return. Like, those are from those boons, and those turn into dawning weapons when you open them up in your inventory. So again, let's just analyze how efficient this is now going to be for farming dawning weapons. That Glassway, we get 2 tier 5s, like 2 dawning engrams, guaranteed on completion. Because we popped boons, we then get 2 more gifts in return. That is 4 dawning weapons, tier 5 dawning weapons, and then on top of that, all of the dawning essence and the ingredients we earned by doing that activity is also going to be used to bake cookies later and get even more rewards. And so again, if especially you're popping your boons of friendship, while you're doing these portal activities, you're getting even more rewards. Now, what we actually did where everyone popped it, you do get more rewards the more people that pop them, but it's actually not as efficient. The best way to utilize your boons of friendship is one person pops it at a time. So I pop mine and I give rewards to myself and my fire team members. Then the next run, someone else pops theirs. Then the next run, the third person pops theirs, right? So every single run, one person is popping a boon of friendship. And so that just maximizes how many activities you can do until you run out of these boons of friendship. So definitely, while you have those boons, very much worth getting into the portal and farming. And by the way, guys, in case you're wondering, if you hover over the tooltip where it says you get dawning engrams, unlike the bonus loot, which says you have to get a B grade or higher, it doesn't say that with the dawning engrams. So I actually went and lowered it all the way to advanced, so I would get like, a C grade or whatever, and I didn't get any dawning loot. So I think it is just part of the bonus loot. You may have to achieve that B grade or higher in order to actually get it to drop. So just keep that in mind. But guys, that is going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.